Okay. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, monkey people. Well, today we're going to go on to the cult of Kaloum, who are the dove worshippers, the sun worshippers, and yeah, the people who run the education system are the ones who convince you that, as you can see, your head, your world is spinning around very fast in the middle of space, because you are nothing but a speck of dust, and you're insignificant, and you mean nothing. All right? Therefore, your life means zero, and it's aimless and pointless. All right? So just don't worry about it. Keep spinning round and round and round, and one day it may stop. That's the biggest illusion ever. Okay? The biggest illusion and deception. And somebody's got a satellite that lives up in space, and there's a bunch of people who live in space, right? And they can float, and they're called the Nazis. Oh, excuse me, the NASAs. Okay, so the people who came out of the Second World War and went over to America to go and develop their space programming BS, right? Von Braun and his buddies. They're the ones who came up with this space fantasy stories and Star Trek and Star Wars that a whole bunch of people still believe. These are children's stories, right? Okay. So there is no evidence. If you look up that you're spinning aimlessly in space, right? It's not possible. It's not possible, because your ancestors predicted the stars and the heavens. And it's one of the 7 principles of existence on this plane is rhythm, right? The same way the sun is going to rise and the sun is going to set is predictable. It's a rhythm. The same way the ocean is going to ebb and flow is the same thing, all right? The same way the same stars are going to show up tonight as they did 10,000 years ago is the same thing, right? For someone to convince you that you're spinning aimlessly in space, and that your life means nothing, and that you're a legal fiction, you see, it's the most ridiculous thing. Don't believe the hype. Do not believe anyone who's a member of the cult of Kaloum, right? The cult of Kaloum are, some people call them Illuminati today, or Freemasons. And if you understand Freemasonry, then you know it's a sex cult, right? So why are you following a sex cult? But most people are, without knowledge that they're following a sex cult and getting involved in the rituals and practices of this cult. So when you go into your programming and you perform according to the programs, you are actually giving support to the cult of Kaloum. And their stories are similar. I mean, their creation story is similar to the one they perpetrate on the masses, which is another fabrication, right? So their creation story is what? In fact, the King James's Bible is a derivation of the original Egyptian story, whereby the God himself, yep, he stood over the earth, which was barren and had nothing on it. So what did he do? Well, he thought, oh, let me do something here. So what he did was, he, say, disrobed, if God has a robe, right? So the God of the Egyptian disrobed, right? Took his enormous member in his right hand and jerked off all over the earth. How about that? Right? So as he's finished jerking off on the earth produced the first man. And the first man was called ATUM. 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 Right? So that's a similar story to the other one, where somewhere, let there be light, and there was light, and then the Lord God character took earth and made a man out of it. Some people say spat on it on the earth to make it wet. Some people say he pissed on it, but he did something. And then he created a guy called Adam, okay, which sounds suspiciously like Atum. But yeah. So the cult of Atum has been telling you a whole bunch of bullshit stories about you're living in space, in outer space, and there's a space alien who's coming back. He's going to eat you up. And this fools have been training children in school, right? So they train children not how to balance their checkbook, but they train children on how to respond in case there's a UFO falls out of the sky. Man, the cult of Atum is off his tree. And myself, I find it extremely surprising how easy it is to deceive and how easy it is for them to get away with it. I suppose people are too busy. Yeah, I suppose people are too busy doing whatever they do. But for someone to make up all these stories, you see, all these bogus nonsense stories, and for a whole generation of people to believe this nonsense. Wow. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, we can go so far or so near. But everywhere we look, right, we're still waiting to see curvature, and we're still waiting to see spin, right? And I'm still waiting to see the architect or civil engineer, for instance. So when you're creating your railroads, I want to see the civil engineer who factors in the curvature when he's constructing his railroad. All right? How about that one? Cult. Or an architect who factors in the curvature when he's building his buildings. Because obviously, if you're going to do architecture and you know anything about architecture, and if you're building on a circle, then you know that the top of the building will have to be slightly wider than the bottom of the building. If you're in a circle, for it to balance. All right? It cannot be straight. You have to factor in that the top is going to be slightly wider than the bottom. It's the nature of things. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, try not to allow people to let your mind spin. All you have to do is observe. And don't be schooled or trained to believe in things that don't exist. So far, there is no evidence that the space alien who's going to come back and eat you, or that there is there is a monkey that lives on the moon. All right, okay. But the moon one, the moon stories, they're going to get their own specific. I suppose we're going to devote about at least 3 hours giving evidence of the fake moon landings. And now somebody went to the moon and he planted a flag, right? And then they drove a buggy round and round, and they collected a few stones, and then they came back and lost the paperwork of how they constructed these rockets to go and fly in a vacuum. Yeah. So the cult of Kaloum are deceivers. Yep, they work for unknown forces, big deceivers who are lying to you for the simple reason that they want to waste your time, because it's all about time. And Chronos is Saturn, a representation of it. And what Chronos did was he ate his children, like Medea killed her children. So Chronos ate his children as well. Eating your children means that you have ideas, but they're unfulfilled because you don't follow them through. So as soon as you get an idea, Chronos eats it, and your child is never born because your ideas are your children. All right. So how that's done is when someone takes your time and keeps you busy, so that your own ideas are never developed, where their ideas are, so their children grow while your children don't. That's the point of the cult of Kaloum, and that's the point of the people of Saturn. All right. But the cycle of Saturn is coming to an end. They're finished, man. These guys are finished. It's just about people raising their confidence and getting more information on how to deal with the cult of Kaloum. All right. So that's what it is. That's what it is. I wish I was out there running. But what I'm gonna do instead, I think I'm gonna we're gonna roll a fat one up and burn it, and then see how else we can fuck with this boy called the Monkey Boy, and these people of the cult who have been getting away with it for a very long time. But we are happy now that the BS is being exposed, and it's being exposed relentlessly, because it's coming out from everywhere. No one's putting up with this crap anymore. People have had enough. No more BS. Okay. So we're gonna keep out in nature today. Got a nice day. We're gonna go bird watching, see what's out there. It's a new year today, so happy New Year. Some people call it April Fool's Day, but it's the first day of the year. So we're gonna start off strong, and as so to speak, we're gonna keep the foot in the ass. All right, we're gonna keep our foot in the ass, and now this year we're gonna twist it and see how they like that. Okay, so no more spinning around, no more BS. Right? This is what it is. It's nature. It's a reality. Artificiality is the falseness. All right? The people are what matter. All right? The principalities are what don't. So get to dealing with people, and we're talking about real people, not fake not this fake, unconscious. I call them monkey people, lost at sea, monkey boys who have a lot to say, but they don't do very much, right? The monkey boys who spend the entire day talking nonsense, right? Those people. All right. It's Tooblack. Still Tooblack in it. And I don't think I'm spinning in space. Do you?